Yeah, my name's Greg Berger. I'm owner at Springledge Farm, which is in the heart of New London, New Hampshire. I bought the farm almost 20 years ago after working here for about 15 years before that. Started in high school, worked for the Cloughs, who started the farm. So we have a big vegetable operation as well as small fruits. In season, we'll grow everything from arugula to zucchini. The biggest crops for us are sweet corn, strawberries, tomatoes. Part of our land and high tunnel area is devoted to cut flower production. In the off season, if you will, we grow greens in the high tunnels, unheated houses, so that we have some local food basically to offer to our customers. For the most part, it all goes through this little farm stand here in town. There's 4 different arrays here at the farm, one on the house, one at the farm stand, this one in the blueberry patch, and then another one in another field. It's powering all the farm, yeah. Along with being able to get fresh food here that's grown locally and within a quarter mile of where you're buying it. The community comes to Springledge to come and get their plant starts for growing their own gardens. We're all about everybody learning how to grow their own food. Hopefully they'll come back and ask us questions. It's always a goal to provide more information and just to expose people to gardening, growing their own food. There goes field crew harvesting some winter storage carrots as well as fresh carrots for selling now at the farm stand. In town here, this is prime land for a town like New London or any town in this region now. It's very expensive. The previous owners, the Cloughs, they saw the writing on the wall, and in 1990 or 91 they put it under easement. It's a conservation easement, but it allows agricultural production. They worked with Osmond Sargent Land Trust, protect the scenic views. If your farmer is doing best practices and maintaining their land and caring for their land, then it helps protect the soil. It allows for there to be local food production in the future, immediate future and the distant future, because this is a conservation easement in perpetuity. We would hope that in the next 50, 100 years there'll still be a farm here producing local food. Well, this has been probably the most challenging year as far as weather and farming goes. In my recollection here at the farm, which is over 30 years, June, July, whatever, the rains and the weather were just awful. Not to mention we had a really late freeze in later May. That took out some of the early crops that we had already put out in the field, even though we had covered them with what we thought was enough row cover. Yeah, Bruce is our berry strawberry farmer, and he was there for a good 20 hours straight. We irrigate the fields to provide frost control. By watering them during the period of cold, the water freezes on there and then it exudes just enough heat to keep it at right about 32, so the flowers don't freeze. And then just the water, it just was insane. We lost definitely 3 or 4 plantings of our weekly succession things like spinach and lettuces, and we had a whole row of peppers and eggplants and sweet potatoes that just sat in the water and drowned basically for weeks on end. We then tried to switch to figuring out how we could get things into a high tunnel, even though that wasn't the crop plan for that year. One of our mitigation ideas, I guess, is to grow more of our high value crops in a high tunnel. It's a whole new learning curve on how to grow those best there, because that at least means that we'll have a crop if the rain is similar to this year, which we imagine it will be. Either that or it'll be, it's just the extremes is really what gets the farmers, right? We've always been proponents of covering the soil as soon as we can, not wanting to see any bare soil other than what you kind of have to do to prepare a seed bed, getting it growing so that the roots there hold the soil from wind and snow and water erosion. We've got a great devoted base of customers. A lot of them understand that it's important to come in and support and purchase what we do have to offer, even if it isn't either our own that week, if it's from a local farm, or even if it isn't perfectly cosmetically looking great. The more that they come in and support us, it just helps continue that cycle. So then their dollars that come into the cash register, we reuse those to then pay our employees and pay for the cost of things and be able to plant the next season's crop. Our customers are a small percentage of the overall population that's buying food, and so trying to just entice or convince a few other people that local food is important in more ways than just what you're eating. And I think that's a big part of the next 5-10 years of figuring out how to sustain local farms and small farms like this. It's a very tight circle of where that local money just goes round and round and supports a lot of different things in the local community. Spring Ledge is happy to be a sponsor of the Sweet Bee Kearsarge Food Hub fridge. It's an open fridge so that anybody, no questions asked, can come in and get some food there. Prepared meals as well as produce. I love that idea, and that you're trusting that people who need it come in and get it, and just allow for that to happen. We sell all our stuff through our farm stand here on Main Street, 37 Main Street in New London. Find us online at springledgefarm.com. Yeah, stop in, there's lots to see here.